What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube people? What's up, the minds? You're always first, you say. Bobby Martin, what's up? The future is fungi, you say. Hey, I love fungi. I love them. I love fun guy. I love guys. All Diddy on that. So we're here, guys. We're running the machine. I've been running it for about an hour and a half. A lot of content filmed here. What's up? What's up? What's up, Instagram? What's up, everybody on Instagram? The machine is running right now. We're turning plastic into fuel. I've been running the machine for about what? Oh, we're actually almost at 2 hours. My bad. I said an hour and a half. We're almost at 2 hours. What's up, Haruma? What's up, Capital? What's up, guys, on City Girl on Instagram? What's up? What's up, Tune on YouTube? I want to remind everybody, hey, this project is 100% crowdfunded. So if you guys love this work, a donation goes so far. I appreciate you guys. You said, what is this hood I'm wearing? This is a hair cover. So this is just to protect my hair in the event of an explosion or a fire. In fact, the last explosion I was in, I thought I lost my hair because it like fried all of my hair. Like all of my hair had like just, it would turn brown, right? Because all the outside was like fried. I thought all my hair was gone. So that's the point of this thing. It's just a protection. You know, I take PPE a lot more serious now. So why you call it Naturejab? Because I'm out here with, I'm doing this for nature, with this plastic to fuel project, and my initials are Jab. And also, I'm a black belt in karate, so one of the techniques I use the most is the jab. So, you know, it's like being a warrior for nature. You're fighting for nature, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Memory? Have you ever thought of adding a fire suppression system to put in that port? Yes, I do. Right now, unfortunately, it's just not in the budget, but it will be done eventually. Said ends humanity, please. You know, the good thing about that is this is not actually a plastic in the fuel reactor. This is actually a doom ray. This is a doom ray, my friends. So I am actually going to end humanity with this. Are my feet fully healed? Yes, they're still, I'm still a hybrid. I'm still black and white. I'm still like a cow, but it's, you know, the skin's fine. I can walk fine. Obviously, I've been building all this, so I'm working just fine. You said, will you make oil today? Yes, I actually am making oil right now. It's just not very visual. See, guys, I have upgraded the machine. This right here, this big Mac Daddy right here is actually an 8-inch diameter condenser, and it's going uphill. And that's actually an interesting thing. You said, hello from Rwanda. Much love to Rwanda. Byron Freaks. Thank you, Joshua, for the $5 on the Cash App. Thank you guys very much for the your donations. They help so much go so far. I appreciate your contribution to the project and to history, Joshua. Are there any emissions created by the machine, such as CO2? The machine has no emissions. Everything is closed, everything is captured, everything is concealed, everything is dealt with and controlled. The only emissions come from when you take the products of the machine and burn them. So that's a whole different story. Vitiligo, yeah, pretty much. Vitiligo. Let me show you guys. You said, how do you seal the shaft for the rebar? It's not that complex, but I use a mechanical shaft's rotary seal. And the only person who probably knows that much about shafts and know what a mechanical shaft rotary seal is Diddy himself, right? Baby oil and shafts. But let me show you guys. You said we need a white paper of your tech. Guys, I'm going to get a research paper, okay? I'm going to get a research paper 2025, all right? Hey, much love to Denmark. I love to see all the international folks. I'm going to show you guys on Instagram in a second here, but YouTube, you can see some oil. It's very, very sparse amounts, and I'll tell you guys why. I'll tell you guys why in a second after I show Instagram why you see oil. Let me turn the blades on. There'll be more, but there's not all that much. You can also see some in here too, up through this sight glass. First of all, it's so cloudy, it's hard to see anything. But you obviously can see oil coming down, right? Let me show Instagram, and I'll explain to you guys why visually you can't see that much oil, and things I can actually do about that. All right, so Instagram, you can see there is oil falling down on a constant rate. You can see oil up here in this bigger sight glass. Now, The reason, oh, there's some bigger drops coming down now. Oh, there you go, big drop, big drop. Now the reason why you guys actually don't see a crazy amount of oil flow, a consistent like high flow, is actually because of the design of this reducer. The oil ends up kind of getting caught in this bowl here, for one. And then another reason is actually the design of this whole system. All right, guys. So look, let me stand y'all up. Let me show you guys the machine. Okay. I'm going to show you guys the machine, and you're going to understand the thought process behind the design of this. Okay? I'm going to break it down for you guys. I'm going to put you guys on game. See, I got videos coming out to explain this stuff, but you guys get the early tips. All right? You guys get to understand this early because you're in the live stream, and I appreciate you guys. All right. XR, thank you for the $1 on the Cash App. I appreciate you, XR. All right, guys. So how does this work? Where's my little light here? All right, so you guys can see. All right, so how does this work? Right now, there's plastic in the machine. The microwaves are heating up the plastic. Those microwaves are heating up the... let me turn this other light on, actually. That should be better. So right now, there's plastic in this machine. There are microwaves heating up the plastic. Those microwaves heating up the plastic cause it to break down and turn into a vapor. That vapor is no longer plastic. That vapor is actually the basic building blocks of petroleum altogether. Okay? Sorry, YouTube. So, with it being the basic building blocks of petroleum, well, what is petroleum? You know, crude oil is the predominant petroleum product. Crude oil has jillions of things that come from it, including fuels. So, that vapor is a petroleum vapor. A vapor full of petroleum constituents. So that vapor then comes right out the machine, and it goes down this pipe. Now, this pipe is not a condenser. This pipe is really just a straight pipe. And this pipe is actually really hot. With it being hot, actually, one second, guys. I gotta check my pump. It looks like there's a malfunction that may be happening. Gotta stay safe. All right, we're back. My one of my natural gas tanks was actually getting full, so I had to go ahead and change over the high pressure line to another tank. But going back to our explanation, as I was saying, the plastic becomes a petroleum vapor. That vapor is now going out of the machine. These pipes you see here are routing it right out of the machine. Now this very hot pipe right here is actually, it only exists to get the plastic vapor. I basically call it a crude oil vapor, because it essentially is. All it does is take that crude oil vapor, and it's trying to route it as quick as possible and as short of a distance possible into this keg. Now this keg is where the oils are to collect, right? The oils are collecting this keg. Now how this keg works is this keg actually works as a heat sink. What is a heat sink? Well, that is a thing that's meant to draw heat from something, right? So this keg here is actually going to get that vapor, because the vapor is very hot. Okay, the vapors coming out of this machine are actually, let me tell you the temperature. Right now, the vapors coming out are over 130 degrees centigrade, which that's getting close to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So hot vapors. As long as the vapors are hot, the oils inside the vapors are going to be stuck inside the vapors. But we want the oils to come out. We need to cool those vapors down. Now, this keg has a large volume. It's big, just like my nuts. Right, it's a big volume, and with such a big volume, what's going to happen is it's actually going to help pull heat away from the vapors, and some of the vapors are going to condense. Now, anything that condenses down here inside this keg, we cannot see. All right, you cannot see any of these oils because there's no sight glass. In fact, I want to put a sight glass up right here, but then when you put a sight glass here, you got to put another sight glass up here, so that way light can get in, but then it's like foggy, you can't see anyway, there's no point. So basically, we can't see shite about what's condensing in here. The only thing we can see is, obviously, this keg is actually pretty warm, right? It's pretty warm at this point. That means that it is stilling heat, but not as much heat as it can. This right here is a condenser. This thing is meant to still as much heat as possible. It has a high surface area. Look at it. It's cold. Cold to the touch. Heat cold, right? So, just like Future said. Whoever said that. But anyways, it's cold. I got cold water going through it. Right now it is at 4 degrees centigrade. Or, what does that convert to in Fahrenheit, guys? What is 4 degrees centigrade to Fahrenheit? That's like 48 degrees centigrade. So it's cold. I want to get it even colder. I got to get a stronger cold pump. But nonetheless, what happens is the vapors go from this keg, which cooled them down a little bit, and they get sucked up, because this whole thing is under vacuum. They get sucked up into this thing, this condenser, very high surface area, and then this condenser, like the coldness of the condenser just diddle with the vapors in all types of ways, and then they lose a lot of their heat. And then those oils, once again, what I say, when the vapors cool down, the oils come out. The vapors cool down, the oils come out. So the vapors cool down in here, and the oils fall down. And that's what you see when you see this sight glass with oils falling down. In fact, there's more oils coming down now than before. So let me see if I can get you guys this prime shot of some of these oils, because there's more oils coming down now than were a second ago. But essentially, guys, you got to get the machine hot to get oils, okay? The machine has to be very hot. And it's not going to work if it's not hot. That's just not how it is going to do. So you can see that there's more visual oils. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, the reason I'm even explaining all this is to tell you that there's a lot of oils forming in here that we cannot see forming. There's a lot of oils falling down this pipe that we cannot see falling down this pipe. We only can see the oils that made it past all that are falling down from here. So you're seeing all this, and it's actually only a fraction of how many oils are actually being caught into this keg. So, in fact, this keg is quite hot. Quite hot, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, boom, big burst of oil coming down. But nonetheless, guys, we're trying to capture as much as possible. But let me tell you guys something. That's pretty bad, actually. It's pretty bad news for me. Okay, look, I was just over there messing with my natural gas tanks, right? And you know, you guys know how it is like with an air compressor, right? When you get that air compressor under high pressure, the moisture from the air ends up like getting in the air compressor, right? So you gotta like drain it. Well, I'm compressing my stuff to over what, 230 psi, and well, with me doing that, there's a lot of moisture left. So this condenser is not enough, guys. I gotta get another condenser, and I probably gotta get a stronger cold pump that can go to negative 20 C, that's like negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit. In order, because yeah, I can always drain the tanks. I'm not worried about the moisture in the tanks. What I'm worried about is I'm not capturing all my damn oil. We're losing oil. Diddy's gonna be upset. He's gonna say, yo, I thought you had my baby oil. I thought you had my 10, what do you have, 5,000 bottles? I only got 4,000 bottles, Diddy. I'm sorry. Because half of it ended up in my natural gas tank because it's not getting cold enough. So that's what it is. You said, do I, you're asking about scrubbers and filters. Yes, guys, my stuff passes through activated carbon filters. Now, those of you that don't know, my natural gas, when it goes through the activated carbon, it actually, things like benzene absorb onto the activated carbon. So benzene is removed from the natural gas, but benzene is not removed from the oil. That comes later through distillation. That's a later process, but obviously, I'm not just sat here touching any of this stuff, inhaling any of this stuff. All this stuff is going into tanks, the keg, the pressurized natural gas tanks back there. It's no open pollution going on. Everything's being captured to be processed later. But that's all I'm trying to say, guys. This is what we're doing, and so we're getting oil, but we could be getting even more because I'm missing out on some oil. But guys, it's biodegradable. I wouldn't say so. Idaho Green, thank you for the $20 super chat on YouTube. He said, this is a small gift for someone who's going to change the world, but I still wanted to buy you a dinner. Hey, thank you so much, man. And I'm so grateful for you and everybody else that support, everybody that's here, regardless. It doesn't matter, man, if it's $1, $20, $20,000. I'm so grateful and I'm appreciative to be able to do this work, to be able to do this research. Guys, this project has been 100% crowdfunded for the past 4 years. From when I was doing this in the size of like a crock pot machine to this big boy machine to when we go to Mark V and it's a humongous machine. You know what I'm saying? I don't sell out. We're up in here doing this as humanity. So I appreciate all for your donations. Thank you so much, Idaho, on the YouTube for the $20 super chat. What's up, Synth? You put Eagles in the chat. Hey, you want to call the American government? They can come here. Take a look at my temperature. Okay, everything looking good. All right, guys. So what's your year with the process? I'm still... Hey, what's up, Jaden? Good to see you, man. Hey, guys, big shout out to Jaden. Much love to him. He's helping me put together some software for this machine. I know I got some software now. He's trying to help me get this software even better. You know, help make it safer and more optimized. Awesome guy. And he's doing it. He's doing it just out of wanting to see the project progress. So, like I said, awesome guy. Let me check my my stuff here. So you were asking me what the yield was of all my stuff, and look, guys, I'm honestly so upset. I'm honestly so upset because let me tell you guys, my plastic shredder is malfunctioning. I sharpened the blades, I oiled the blades, I positioned the blades in accordance to me sharpening them. The shredder just is not shredding how it needs to shred. What happens is I put plastic in the plastic shredder, and it literally just like that's the noise it makes. It doesn't pull the plastic in to get it finer and finer. It just kind of like pulls it in once and just lets it float around. It doesn't matter if I'm doing soft plastic or hard plastic. And guys, for me to give proper numbers and yields for this machine, I have to be able to shred the plastic. There's no in between, because the amount of plastic I can load in when it's shredded versus when it's not shredded is absolutely enormous. I put in just raw bits of plastic into this thing today, and I couldn't put in much. You know, you probably could put in at most like 5 pounds when it's not shredded, but when it's shredded, you could put probably 30 to 50 pounds in this thing at one time, let alone when it's continuous. Idaho Green, you said the love and shout out. Got you tomorrow's food too, but hey, thank you so much, Idaho, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, seriously. It means so much to me, all you guys. It's nothing but love, truly. It's nothing but love. And look, it goes directly to this machine. You know, look, here's the cool thing about what I do, right? it's so visual. It's so visual, the progress being made, right? There's no question in between about, oh, is the money actually going somewhere? I mean, look at this thing. Stainless steel, literally seeing oils come out live. You can't really fake it. You can only fake to such a degree, right? You can't fake this. And if you somehow argue you can fake this, you definitely can't fake getting blown up with your legs burnt off, right? And turned half black, half white. You said titanium blades for the shredder. Guys, I sharpened the blades. Look, the blades are carbon steel. Yes, it gets dull, but when I sharpen it, it should at least start to shred fine again when it's sharpened. Obviously, when it gets dull, it should mess up again, but with the blades being sharpened, it should be fine, right? So I don't know. I gotta figure it out, but it's really annoying because, you know, I got this machine built, I got it set up. I want to do these numbers, guys. I want to, because I know this machine is operating well. I know, look, people want to say all over, oh my goodness, it's inefficient, Guys, I can just tell by how much natural gas I get. I'm getting at least, look, the average run of this machine, the average run, I'm putting in about 25 kilowatt hours. And I've done some rough calculations, all right? Don't take a word for word yet until the video comes out with all the numbers crunched. But roughly, I get 12 kilowatt hours of natural gas alone in that 25 kilowatt hours going in. That's just the natural gas, not the oil, that's not the carbon, because the carbon can burn too, that's energy too. So we're almost getting half the return just in the natural gas product alone. Okay, that's just some rough estimates. I said wait for the video, and that's without me doing a huge run in this this machine. You know, the more plastic I put in, the more efficient. And guys, that's before I do make it continuous. When it's continuous, when I can load plastic in while it's running, the efficiency will go up even higher because you don't have to heat up the whole machine from scratch again. It stays hot, you load the plastic in. Microwaves penetrate things better when they're hot. Microwaves eat things up better when it's already hot. So, yeah. But look forward to that video. The issue is, I can't get another shredder until probably January. That's the issue. I'm gonna get a nice shredder, a nice double shaft shredder, but unfortunately, I'm not in a financial position to be able to get that until January. So what sucks is we're gonna have to wait until then, but in the meantime, I can of course still run the machine, put plastic in, do what we do. And I also will be collecting plastic for analysis, guys. Tomorrow will be the first run of one specific type of plastic, HDPE, high density polyethylene, which are essentially, I'm just gonna take a bunch of like sweet tea jugs and stuff. I'm gonna take those, cut them up, throw them in the machine, only sweet tea jugs. And HDPE, you have milk cartons too, all that type of stuff. Put it in the machine, get the oils, get the natural gas, carbon. We're gonna send the oils to a lab. Okay, but we're gonna get the oils and then we're gonna refine them into the crude oil, the gasoline, diesel, jet fuel. Thank you, Idaho, for becoming a member, a Pyrolysis Tribe member on the YouTube. CS, thank you for being a member with the Pyrolysis Tribe on YouTube. I appreciate you guys so much. So I'm not gonna shred it, guys, because my shredder doesn't work. I'm gonna just cut it by hand. But we're gonna check that oil, refine it, send all of those samples to a guy that does mass spectrometry. He is on Instagram, guys, and YouTube too. His name is Mass Spec Everything. He is going to analyze that product, okay? And we're gonna see what we get back from that. And then we gotta go from there. We gotta analyze every single type of plastic. Hey, good night, Jesuits, Batman. Thank you for stopping by. We gotta analyze every single product. So we're gonna start a GoFundMe to raise some money to analyze every single product and every single refined product. It's $50 per analysis. So we're gonna raise some money to do that. But guys, we're gonna analyze HDPE, LDPE, polypropylene, PETE, polyethyl terephthalate, and PS, polystyrene or styrofoam. We're gonna analyze every single one of those, and then we're gonna analyze every single refined bit of them. So you not only have the crude oil from them, but then you have from that the gasoline fraction, diesel fraction, jet fuel fraction. So that's 15 total things to be analyzed. Or actually no, that's 20 because you gotta analyze the crude oil too. So we're gonna do all that, guys, and I wanna do it before the end of this year, but I know that holidays are coming up. He's a professor at the University of California, so it may not work out, but in that timeline, but I can promise before the end of the year, we're gonna get HDPE analyzed. That's the first thing, high density polyethylene. So for everybody talking about benzene, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. And guess what, guys? Here's the amazing thing about analysis, right? And here's the amazing thing about science and chemistry. Let's say there is benzene in there to a very bad degree. And by the way, I did some research papers, read some research papers on the pyrolysis of HDPE. Not much benzene, but if there was, there's methylbenzene, but not actual much benzene. But if there was, the good thing about chemistry is when you know how much of something is in something, then you can employ certain reactions, catalysts, etc. You can upgrade your machine to deal with these things, for example, right? Or upgrade your distiller, upgrade whatever. That's what they do now in the crude oil refineries, right? But you got to know what's in it first. I've been saying to you guys, I'll be doing analysis for a while. I had to get the machine up and running first, all right? I had to get the machine up and running, and I had to get the machine producing oil consistently first. I wish the shredder was working so we could also get the energy numbers at the same time. But guys, we're all in this science game together, all right? We're all in this science game together. And look, just like I told you guys about the backyard, I'm not in the backyard anymore. I told you guys I'm doing the analysis. We're doing the I already got the connections in place. And I told you guys that we're gonna do the energy numbers and we're gonna get the energy numbers. You said, what about benzene? I just told you about benzene. I just told you we're doing the analysis. Nobody can tell me what's in my products. I can't even say what's in my products yet. Nobody can say it. I can't say it until we get analysis. So we can theorize. Now it's an highly educated guess that there is benzene. But we don't know for sure. We're going to see. And then I promise you guys what you are going to see. I can tell you this for 100% fact. You're going to see certain plastics have more of something than something else. So some plastic will have more benzene than other plastics. Period. So we'll be able to figure out. And then we're going to do a mixed plastic run too. That's another analysis. So what is that? So we had to do a total of like 30 different analyses. So I did the math. It's $1,500 we got to raise to do all of them. Okay? And that's just for the oils. Then, the natural gas and the carbon is a different thing. But that's later. Because like I said, the natural gas is pretty easy to clean up. Because when it's going through a pressurized system. So as it's going through the pressure, I can put activated carbon in there. I can put zeolite in there, I can put bentonite in there, I can put silica in there to do some catalytic reforming, or not reforming, but rather some catalytic reactions, some adsorbing as it's going into the tanks anyway. But yeah, we're gonna start with the oils, guys. But look, 2025, we're definitely gonna be more scientific. I want to get a research paper out by 2025, okay, guys? I want to. In order to get a research paper, you said so proud of you, thank you, Memory. Guys, in order to get a research paper, the only thing holding me back outside of analysis, because that's obviously mandatory, is making this machine continuous. Because the machine is batch. I have to make it continuous. Why? Because I want, on my research paper, the best numbers I can get out of this machine. And I know for a fact. Hey, I'm actually going to get my next shredder off of AliExpress, illuminated sphere. You know what, guys? Look, this shredder, it's not broken. Everything is fine in it. The motor's fine. The shaft is fine. Look, the blades are blades. I sharpened them. I'm going to get a bigger plastic shredder, a nice one. Maybe we could do a giveaway of this shredder. You pay for the shipping, but it's given away. I don't know. Because I don't need two shredders. Especially because the shredder I'm going to get is going to be real good. You said this prototype will be in a museum one day. I hope so. I got all my other prototypes too. And I hope they'll be in museums as well. But, that's what it is, guys. This is what we got to do. I'm actually looking at these glasses here, these sight glasses, and they're getting clear. Now, what that tells me, guys, with these getting clear, and I'm seeing no oil. And we're 2.5 hours into the run. Now, what does that tell me? With this being clear and me seeing no oils, that lets me know that the plastic I put in is pretty much done for. It's no longer breaking down into vapor. That vapor is no longer condensing. So 2 hours, 20 minutes in, I think the run's done. Now I'm going to check a few things. Look at my temperatures. I think the run's done, guys. 2 hours, 20 minutes in. Let's see how much energy we consumed in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Hey, 1 second, guys. I gotta get a battery for my camera because I gotta, making YouTube videos too. All right, guys, we have consumed 17 kilowatt hours, 2 hours, 21 minutes. We have consumed 17 kilowatt hours. So I'd say we've been averaging about 7,000 watts being pulled there. But yeah, it's not really that, it's really not that energy intensive, guys, honestly. You know, it doesn't consume any more electricity than if you run your air conditioner all day. And it runs off of a 50 amp dryer port. You don't need some industrial crazy stuff to run this machine. And guys, look. The reason why, look, David K, you did it. Look, I literally said we consumed about 7,000 average. I just did it off the top of my head. There you go. But, and let me tell you guys why. Because the machine starts off consuming 9,700 watts. But as it gets hot, I start to turn off more and more magnetrons, right? To save energy, because once the machine is hot, you don't need as much power going in, especially if it's not continuous. So, you know, the right now, for example, we're actually operating at 5,500 watts, right? But we started operating at 9,700 watts. So we cut the energy down by about almost half. Well, maybe not almost half, but I'd say about, what, 40%? You know, so the energy consumption went down by 40%. As the machine gets hotter, it doesn't have to have as much energy going in to keep it hot. So right now there's, for example, there's only 3 out of 6 magnetrons on. 3 out of 6. Now there's other things running. You know, you can hear the recovery pump. You can hear the not the condenser, but the water chiller. So we're pulling 5,500 watts. And like I said, guys, I think the run is over. So, you know, we're not going to consume many more kilowatt hours at this point. But we consume 17. So let's say we get up to 18 kilowatt hours. Right? We'll see. I've been getting a lot of natural gas. Now, this is the issue, guys, of when I can't shred my plastic. Because if I could shred my plastic, guys, the average length of time of a run back then, when I could shred plastic, was 3 hours. Because there was so much plastic in there. I can literally jam in as much plastic by hand as I want. And I really can't get past 2.5 hour runs. Because the plastic just gets degraded within 2.5 hours. You said, yeah, I do wash my lab clothes quite frequently. So guys, what I was saying is the energy consumption of this machine really isn't that crazy. It's less than 50 amps. The peak energy draw is 42 amps. So, I mean, I'm running this off of a generator right now, but I want to run it off of solar. That's going to be a thing we're going to do next year too. 2025, we're running this 100% off of solar, for one. And then for two, you know, I want the machines of this size to be the machines that go out there. They go out into the world. So, you know, think about it. A machine like this size, you don't need crazy infrastructure. If I make this machine 3-phase, it'll be even better. We don't need crazy infrastructure to run a machine pulling this much. You said partner with a tool maker and get a plastic shredder. Get a plastic shredder made. I actually am talking currently with a CNC engineer. We're gonna look through that. You know, it's all about cost analysis. With the stuff coming from Alibaba, coming straight from China, it might be cheaper because steel is kind of expensive nowadays. We'll see though. We'll do the math. We'll get it done. But I got somebody that can cut it out for me. You said waiting for the salsa the dance. Look, I stopped salsa dancing as much online because I started to get copywritten. Because Instagram, they'll shut down your live stream if you play this music. And of course, YouTube, you get demonetized. You say, hey, I love what you're doing, but I'm just wondering if this is the wrong time to make this, with climate disasters getting worse every year. Should we be finding a way to extract oil for it? Well, here's the thing about, the climate, climate change, people talk about that a lot because I'm making these fuels that burn while there's this push for electrification and to reduce carbon emissions. I got a few things to say about that. For one, carbon emissions aren't really the true issue in the world. The true issue are heavier or hydrocarbon emissions with higher chains, such as methane, such as ethylene. Carbon per gram does not actually have that much of a greenhouse effect. Methane has 40 times the amount of greenhouse effect per gram than carbon. So does ethylene. Those things, you know what methane and ethylene come from the most? From landfills. From ocean plastic. See, here's the thing about methane and ethylene. They can't be captured. You say get rid of cows? No, that's not the solution. But here's the thing, right? They can't be captured. But guess what? CO2 can't be captured. It's called trees. So if I'm taking plastic out the ocean, now this plastic is emitting microplastics that get in everything, from testicles to fetuses to your balls. And then they're also emitting methane and ethylene. Okay, and they're doing other things too that which science has yet to cook up or yet to catch up with. We know they're doing other things. Come on. We know they're affecting your brain and your eyes and everything, right? Cancer causing, look, BPA was cancer. They're finding microplastics in the fish. You eat the fish. They might find microplastics in the water that they grow the crops with, and they spray the water. You eat the lettuce. You make a salad, it has microplastics on it. I know that water bottle you drink out of is BPA free, but are those microplastics that got on your lettuce or in your fish BPA free? Probably not. We know BPAs cause cancer. So anyways, you have all these things, and the worst thing that can really come from these products when they're properly cleaned up is the worst of worst that can come from the worst of what can come from a combustion engine with a catalytic converter, and that is for the most part CO2 and water vapor. So are you going to tell me that we should leave plastics in the ocean, destroy the visual love and beauty of nature, get microplastics in our fetuses and our balls, release methane and ethylene 40 times and 25 times worse than CO2 just to mitigate some CO2 from being released, which we could plant trees to deal with? Because I don't think there's a way to get rid of microplastics, guys. I'll be honest, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but these microplastics that are so small, nanoplastics, you can't even see them. They're in everything. I mean, we're already too late, but the best thing we can do now is prevent them from growing, and the only way to do that is to destroy the plastic. We cannot get out of this, guys. We cannot fight this war turning a plastic bottle to another plastic bottle, turning a plastic into a brick, turning plastic into roadways. We cannot fight this problem by just continuing the cycle of plastic. We have to destroy it. We have to end it. We have to kill the plastic. So, one way is, of course, incineration, burning it. But then that can get tricky because if everybody has incinerators, we already know the corruption of governments and stuff. There's going to be people that have incinerators running without the proper scrubbers, or not hot enough, and then you have horrible emissions coming out, right? But the thing about this machine is, look, I'm doing this machine. I'm running it. I'm running this machine individual. I don't have these crazy things. But despite that, everything is captured and controlled in this machine. I make this oil. No matter what the heck is in this oil, AIDS itself could be in this oil, but it's not getting leached into the environment. It's not getting just emitted up unless I choose to. The natural gas is going in those tanks. It doesn't matter what's in that natural gas. It's not going into the environment immediately. We can control how this stuff is processed, how it's filtered, what it goes through. We can clean it up as much as possible before it goes into the environment. Okay? That's the difference between this and incineration. Incineration, it's immediate going into the environment. So if people want to play dirty and try to find all these little loopholes and not have the right scrubbers, not have the incinerator running hot enough, you just, it's horrible. You put it, you said stop making plastic then. That's not possible. That's not possible. Look, I don't think it's possible for us to start running stuff off of oil and natural gas. But if we do, if that is somehow possible that we're 100% electrified, I promise you, we will never be off of plastic. Literally, the electric cars that you drive that have plastic in them, that plastic is made of oil to begin with. So that's one reason why we'll never go away from oil. But nonetheless, plastic is too, look, guys, I study plastic. I do a lot of material science. I built this machine, okay? I built this machine studying so many different types of materials, their heat range, chemical resistance range. The gaskets, the very gaskets I use for this machine to even work are PTFE, polytetrafluorine, Teflon. That's plastic. There's some things that this world cannot operate with without plastic. Seriously. You cannot get plastic away in this modern world. You cannot. That's just serious, period. And anybody who understands the material science will know the truth in that. So anyways, guys, I'm going to turn this machine off because we're no longer getting oil. You see the sight glasses are clear. I do see some oils dropping out. But remember this, guys, the machine is still hot. Okay? You said 100 watts and 23 thumbs up. Smash the like button. Hey, thank you. Yeah, guys, smash the like button for sure. But guys, the machine still is doing pyrolysis even when it's off. Plastic safety glasses, exactly. I don't want safety glasses out of real glass because if something happens, glass is going right in my eyes. That's a perfect example. We will never stop plastic from being produced. We cannot. We will suffer more than how we are now if we stop plastic from being produced. There's so many things you guys don't even know that are made of plastic that like would shut down your phone. You couldn't even be on a phone right now if it weren't for plastic. I promise you. The machines that make the phones, I'm sure there's like gaskets or something that has to be plastic. Some things have to be made from certain materials. So plastic is not the enemy. It's the way we've been dealing with plastic that's the enemy. Dang, look, we're at 99 likes on YouTube. Hey, thank you guys for showing some love. Thank you guys for showing the love. We went from 28 likes to 99 likes in literally a few seconds. Thank you guys for the love, though. All right, let's turn this off. Let's turn this off. All right, guys, the machine is off. I'm going to go ahead and turn the recovery pump off. You said, Memory said, drop a W in the chat. Hey, thank you, Memory, on the Instagram chat. Thank you, guys, for the love on the Instagram chat. Is the plastic turned molten? Yes, it is turned molten. We'll leave the recovery pump on for a little bit because there's still some residual natural gas in here that's getting pulled out. Hey, thank you guys for the love on YouTube. 114 likes. More likes than people in here. So... Let's see the energy consumption, all right? We just turned the machine off, all the magnetrons. All right, guys, like I said, we're at 18 kilowatt hours, just like I said. So, now I got a lot of natural gas. We don't know how much oil I got, but I got a lot of natural gas. And I'm not going to be pouring out this oil on live stream because I want to get that for the video. Or I want to get that money shot for my video I'm working on. So we don't know how much oil I got, and I don't know how much natural gas I got either. But once I get this recovery pump off, we can maybe you guys can do some calculations with me here on live stream, okay? All right, I can finally start to take all this safety stuff off. Now that the machine is off, it's safe to not have everything on. Of course, I'll still have my glasses, but there's really not much that can really happen when it's off. I'll turn the generator off in a second. my goodness. Goodness gracious. We got a lot of natural gas, more than we've ever got before. I compressed one of these small recovery tanks up to 300 PSI. Usually I just go to 200. All right, generator. Let's turn her off. Where the too many damn pockets. Where the heck did I put my key? All right, generator is off. 18 kilowatt hours for the run. 2.5 hours. 2 hours 40 minutes. Now I don't know how much plastic we put in because unfortunately, like I said, my shredder's down. Couldn't weigh it. Couldn't put in as much as I'd like. But I got a good video coming out of all this. You guys stay tuned. I start releasing some content tomorrow concerning that video. It's gonna be like a 6-part video on shorts. Okay, it's gonna be breaking down how the machine works, me putting plastic in, me turning it on, me running it, me showing everything in between, from the oils coming out to the carbon coming out. It's gonna be a complete like, what do we call it? Freaking series. Or whatever, a complete breakdown of the whole machine's operation. Let's see. All right, so despite the machine being off, the machine is still hot. The reason we turned it off is because there were no more vapors coming over it. So that lets us know there's pretty much no more plastic in it. There shouldn't be plastic in the machine. I guess we'll see tomorrow when I open up this machine. But despite it being turned off, there are still some vapors in the machine. These natural gas vapors, or the crude oil vapors, you could call them. And those vapors are still making their way through the condenser, through the keg, and condensing. So it's, there's still oil to be collected. There's still oil to be collected. So basically, once the machine is off, it's not safe to open until a few hours once it cools off. And the reason why is those vapors I'm telling you about. Because if you open the machine and the vapors are still hot and excited and moving around, not only will all those vapors leave because they're not going to take time to, slow down and condense, but also it's a humongous explosion risk. Because this is basically a low-pressure, humongous tank of natural gas right now. So if I open this door, all that natural gas is under some slight pressure. Not a crazy amount, but some. And I open that door, and then all that's going to come out, and it's such a large volume. Such a large volume that, any spark, it's gonna light up. And I know this, guys, because I've done this before. I've been dumb enough to open the machine, okay, and actually, believe it or not, weld on it shortly after a run. And I had my welding helmet on, and blew up right in my face. But I had my welding helmet on, so I was safe. But it was a small explosion. But yeah, I've done it a few times. Because let me tell you guys what I did back then. I opened the machine up after a run, and I was like, okay, obviously there's natural gas in there. So let me get all the natural gas out. Let me push out all the natural gas with compressed air. All right? So I did that. I put compressed air in for a good bit of time, but I thought I got all the natural gas out. I didn't. I actually ended up making the explosive stoichiometric ratio of the natural gas and air. As soon as I struck the arc, boom! It was not like an explosion. This machine is welded really well. So it didn't, obviously have shrapnel, but it was like a jet of fire right at my face. So, there's a lot of explosions I've been through that were kind of just smaller ones. Of course, the biggest one that injured me the most was my distiller, not even the freaking machine. Right? So that's the most ironic part. Like, everybody thinks the machine will kill me. My distiller almost killed me before this damn thing, right? That's a whole different step, refining the oils, a whole different step of danger. You think about how many oil refineries blow up. Look it up on YouTube, guys. Look up oil refinery explosion. You'll find tons of videos. It happens all the time. And I'm doing that myself solo on top of breaking down plastic in this reactor to begin with. You put it together. This is a dangerous game. Indeed, it's a dangerous game. You said, I did it to myself. Exactly. I did it to myself. And that's what it is. You live and learn, That's why it feels like I age 5 years every year. I'm 21, but it feels like I'm 36 because, doing this type of stuff is some freaking grown stuff to do, right? It's not some teenage stuff to do. But guys, let us calculate how much natural gas I got. Now, unfortunately, like I told you guys, the natural gas has a lot of moisture in it. Now, currently, you know my friends at BVV, Best Value Vacs. They're the ones that gave me this amazing condenser right here, this Big Daddy condenser. We're currently looking to get another coil, a 40-foot coil, condenser coil, like the moonshiners use. And hopefully adding that in conjunction with all of this will solve the problem. I know the easiest and most straightforward solution is a cold trap, but I don't want to do a cold trap. The reason I don't want to do a cold trap is because, for one, dry ice is very expensive. If I add any dry ice to this machine, it will quickly not even be worth doing. There won't even be a chance of being profitable if we do dry ice, for one. And for two, there's another solution. There's these things called cold fingers. They're not dry ice. They use electricity to get down to like -20, -40 C. The issue with those are, first of all, they're very expensive to buy, and for two, I'm already near my max wattage of my generator. And I don't want this machine to exceed 50 amps anyway, so it can run off of a dryer socket. If I get one of those, I already have this water cooler. The best thing I can do is to get a stronger water cooler that can go down to like -20 C, or -4 degrees Fahrenheit, and then get a that 40-foot coil, because this condenser is big, right? Look at it. It's big width-wise and like a surface area, but it's short. It's literally not, it's like, what is that, 3 foot? Or is that 2 foot? Whatever. It's short. And since we're operating under vacuum, the vapors are being sucked out so quickly that this is not suffice. This will not suffice. Because they need to be in contact as long as possible. So a 40-foot coil, just round and around and around and around we go, that would do it. And you see, guys, look, this was actually by accident. But guys, I actually already have a way to incorporate that. Do you see this down here? This down here is actually, this is a sight glass down here. You can't see out of it anyway. But here's the idea, guys. And you guys are getting some sauce early. You guys are getting some game early. Nobody knows I'm doing this right now except for you guys. And this thing is also tilting a lot. I think it's getting heavy. Well, I'm going to have to fix that. But it's not supposed to be tilting this much. I swear it was not tilting this much just a second ago. Let me see if I can fix this now. Whatever. Oh, I shook it up and quite a bit of oil started to come down. This thing is heavy, all right, but whatever. I'll deal with this later. You said don't sell out? Guys, I will never sell my soul, okay? Like Roddy Rich said. Like a cash app. So, guys, what I'm going to do is this, all right? And you guys are getting some sneak peeks, exclusive sneak peeks. So, the vapors go through here. They come up, go around. And then it reaches this T. All right. And this T is basically a way. So this right here, guys, let me show you what everything does, okay? And I got to make a video on YouTube showing all of this too, guys, because I never actually made a video on YouTube showing all the new stuff I added. But anyway, this T, goes to the vacuum pump. That lets me pull the initial vacuum on the machine. We pull about, what is that? -0.5 an atmosphere of a vacuum. So that's 14 inches of mercury. Actually, today I put -8 psi. So atmospheric pressure is -14.7 psi. So a full vacuum is negative. No, I said that wrong. Atmospheric pressure is 14.7 psi. So an absolute vacuum is -14.7 psi. Today I pulled a -8.8 vacuum on this machine. So over half of almost a complete absolute vacuum. Right, and I could have gone with more. I just didn't feel like waiting that long, because we only do the vacuum to get as much oxygen out as possible. There's not, there are advantages to running it under a deep vacuum, but the thing is, guys, my pump, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about, can only sustain a vacuum at such a strength anyway. So this valve here goes to the vacuum pump to pull the first vacuum. This valve down here goes to the recovery pump. That recovery pump runs the whole time the machine is on. Vacuum pump gets turned off as soon as the machine is operating. The recovery pump runs the whole time. It keeps a constant suction on the machine, and it takes the natural gas, compresses it into the tanks. The vacuum pump is much stronger vacuum than the recovery pump. So the vacuum pump can get down to almost a full vacuum. But the recovery pump, especially with natural gas being created in the machine, can only sustain about, like I said, the vacuum pump we pulled at 8.9, negative 8.9 psi. Vacuum pump or the recovery pump at most can do about, I'd say negative 5 psi. You can get a stronger and stronger one, and maybe for a bigger or better machine, we can get one that can do better. Because the truth is, guys, the stronger a vacuum you pull, the less heat it takes to break down the same amount of plastic. In fact, a lot of oil refineries will refine their crude oil under vacuum because it takes less energy, and because plastic is such a strong ring of hydrocarbons to crack, such a long chain, that it takes a lot of energy to crack. You put it under vacuum, maybe you could add some catalyst in there, decrease the amount of energy it takes to turn the plastic into fuel. But this plastic becomes that vapor, the natural gas vapor. You gotta remember, the more natural gas forming in here, that's fighting the vacuum, right? So the more natural gas forming, the vacuum is actually getting weaker and weaker. So nonetheless, recovery pump down here, and I have this right here, and you're like, what is this? I'm gonna make sure you can see that. This other branch off right here. So this other branch off is actually if I want to run the machine traditional. If I want to run the machine not under vacuum, which I almost would never do because vacuum makes it actually a lot safer. An implosion is a lot better than an explosion. But if I want to run the machine safer, I open this valve. And this valve allows the natural gas to just literally flare out right here. Or this could be unscrewed and tapped into my old school bladders. Fill up my balls with my plastic natural gas. I pretty much would never do that again, but it's there. If I want to maybe do a test or whatever, it's there. Or if something is happening, I don't know what could possibly happen, where I have to run it atmospherically. Because atmospherically running the machine, there's so many disadvantages. Nonetheless, guys, I wanted to tell you guys, let's do some calculations together, especially you guys on YouTube, because you guys on YouTube always got me with this. All right, so guys, I got natural gas. Thank you for the $5 Twitch 307 on YouTube. The $5 super chat you said for the cause, little bro. I appreciate you, Twitch 307, for your support of this project. Now, guys, I need some help. Okay? I need some help to calculate how much natural gas we got. All right? Let me tell you guys how much of everything. So you ignore these two cylinders because these two cylinders already had natural gas in them from my last runs. But we filled up these cylinders, which were at 0 psi. Some people actually told me I should put a scale on these. And I should. The issue is I got to make sure there's absolutely no vapors in here. No water, no moisture, because that's adding weight. That's not the natural gas. So we gotta further do this condensation and get it done. But let me test what psi this is at here. So this right here, we started from 0 psi, and we are at, what is that? That is about 250 psi. All right, guys. Now I need your help. Pay attention. All right. 250 psi, and this is a number 100 recovery tank. Now, I don't know the exact volume by heart, but I know this is a number 100 recovery tank. Let me see if it has it on here. This is rated for up to 400 psi, by the way, but I get 250 because as the psi grows, the vacuum on the machine, the pump has to work harder, so it can't do as good of a vacuum on the machine. But, I can't find the market anywhere. But, guys, what's the volume of a number 100 recovery tank? Oh, it tells me back here, I think. No, it just tells me the weight. This is a 22.6 kg recovery tank. And we have it at 250 psi of pressure. So guys, tell me how many square foot of natural gas that is that. All right, now there's another recovery tank, another one. We have this one here, and this one is a, let's see how much this is. This is a 47.7 pound or 21.64 liter recovery tank. Where's that? What does it say? It says WC 47.7. I don't know what WC means. But this one right here is at 300 PSI, guys. All right. So if you guys can help me, we can figure out how many kilowatts of natural gas we made from this run, which we put in 18 kilowatt hours. So if somebody could do this math on both of these tanks that I just gave, the numbers I just gave you, figure out the volume, and we figure out the square footage, and when you put that in the calculator for that many square foot of natural gas, sum them up, let me know what the number is, and guys, we can see a portion of the potential energy return from this run. And you see, this is why it makes me so mad that I have so much moisture getting in these tanks, because that's oil, and that oil is energy, and that energy is a part of the amount of the total energy we could get out, but it is unrecoverable when it's in these tanks. Hence why we got to solve these problems. There's always more engineering to do. There's always more engineering to do, guys. Yeah, this is completely dismissing the oil that we're getting, because I'm not opening that up tonight because I'm doing that for a video. We'll open up the oil live another day. I'll be out here for a few days. You said you use the same pressure regulator on the wall? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one right there, I was actually having it on the vacuum side, but there's a clog in there somewhere, so I gotta put it on the pressure side. But actually, let me show you guys something, because I wasn't lying to you. Look, activated carbon. I route my gases through activated carbon, which absorbs things like benzene for just for. But guys, can somebody do that math for me? Oh, you say you're measuring for me. All right, thank you. Hi, Eternity 666 on Instagram. There's some type of formula you can put in, and I found it one night. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I lost it, but I did it before. You said one piece of advice I can give you is that it's going to help you pull a deeper vacuum to change your oil every single run you do. Danny, I actually use a vacuum pump that's oilless. Now let me ask you, Danny, because you seem to know about these things. Are oilless vacuum pumps weaker than oiled vacuum pumps? You said that guy's trolling. Okay, well, whoever can give me the number, if anybody could do that math. You said PSI means nothing. PSI does mean something, but that's why you have to know the size of the recovery tank, because you check the recovery tank, whatever size it is, and then you figure out the volume of the size that it is, right? Just flat volume, and then you can measure, or you can calculate based off of that volume. When you get that volume up to a certain pounds per square inch, then you can then know how much square footage of the vapor, whatever is in there. I did the math before. It's just I don't have all these formulas on hand, and I also have all my phones right now on live stream, so I can't pull them up. I've always used oil to pull down AC systems. That'd get expensive quick, though, because I run this machine sometimes twice a day to change the oil every single time. Now, the vacuum oil can go inside the machine and be broken down, but I'm just saying. But so oil vacuums are better. You know, my oil pump, I have an oil vacuum pump, and it just sprays oil everywhere. It pisses me off. PSI does not tell you how concentrated it is. Well, unfortunately, Ryan, I'm not going to do weight yet until I have no more moisture, or a very small amounts of moisture, because the moisture is adding weight. So that's going to be not a proper number. But we know that moisture in liquids do not compress. So that's why we got to do PSI right now. You said, even my wife likes you, man. I am so stoked to see where you take this. I'll definitely be watching. Thank you so much, Nancelot and Nancelot's wife. I appreciate you guys for being a part of the journey. What's more efficient, biofuel from bio waste or this? Well, it's not really about what's more efficient. You said it's about 46 CFM. All right, so I don't know if those numbers are correct. I'm just kind of putting my faith in you guys. But somebody, go in there, right, and tell me how many kilowatt hours is in 46 CFM of natural gas. All right. And by the way, guys, because you guys are probably like, he's saying all this natural gas stuff. Natural gas this, natural gas that. We don't even know if this stuff burns. You guys didn't even see it. It's invisible. So let's actually see. Okay. Let's see if this natural gas actually is even a flammable vapor at all. All right. But hold on, though. I need to get some. Let's see. You said, what's your accent? Honestly, I'll be honest, I don't even know what my accent is. And look, I just met this lady. It was the day I met Lonnie G. Johnson. What a G he was, by the way. Hey, Graylin Gaines, thank you for the $10 on the Cash App. Much love to you, man. He's an OG. Graylin Gaines has been here in the live streams, almost every live stream, donating $10 since before the accident, guys, from when I was still in my parents' backyard. So he's an OG. Thank you so much, Graylin James, the OG. Much love to you. I still don't know who you are either. Like, I never see you in the Instagram chat. Maybe you chat and maybe you don't. But you're an OG. I really appreciate your love and support, man. Much love to you. You said it's about 14 kilowatt hours, Antonio, or not Antonio, Amin? Saleh? So can we get a confirm on that? Can somebody else, I'll give you guys the numbers again. But first of all, somebody else put in 46 SCF of natural gas to kilowatt hours, and let's confirm that number. Is that 14 kilowatt hours? And then I'm going to give you guys the weight and volume of the natural gas we got and the tanks and all that. We can get secondary calculations done. You said the first vacuum pump that came out of auto shops to pump down car seats was designed and built by my dad, and Snap-on asked to check it out. Like a fool, he let them. Oh, within 3 months they built one. Dang, Snap-on got y'all. Oh my goodness, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. You guys got to be careful. I mean, I got to be careful too, right? You know, and here's the thing, guys. Patents don't really mean that much. I'll be real with you. Patents just give you leverage in court. But if they got the lawyers, they got the money, they'll just keep fighting until you got no money. You got no money to defend your patent. Trade secrets is the way. No. Okay, you retracted your message. Guys, let's test this natural gas while you guys doing the calculations. But let me give you guys the numbers again. Okay, so you got 14 kilowatt hours, Matthew Magnifico. Okay, so if it's true that we got 46 square feet of natural gas, then we put in 18 kilowatt hours into the machine, and we got 14 kilowatt hours of natural gas alone. But we got to make sure, okay, that we got these calculations right on the tank. So once again, guys, I'm going to tell you the numbers. We are at 250 PSI of the natural gas inside of this tank, which is a number 100 recovery tank. I'm trying to read off these things. It says that it is 41.9 liters. 41.9 liters, 250 PSI. Okay? And then we have the next tank, which is at 300 PSI, and this one is 21.64 liters. 21.64 liters at 300 PSI. Those are the numbers. All right. So if somebody can confirm that those numbers indeed come out, you add them together, and they indeed come out to 46 square feet of natural gas. The energy return is looking good for just a natural gas product alone. So let's test this natural gas, guys. Because like I said, I've been saying it, but does it actually burn? Is it actually good? Let's see. So come with me. Come with me into my dark corner. Come to Diddy's world. Diddy's dark world. All right. I'm gonna move this phone down here. All right, let us go ahead and test this. All right. Oh, make sure this YouTube camera's good. Natural gas is coming through this burner. Oh, I think it's coming out at too high of a pressure. You see it blew itself out. Let's see. Still too high. All right. There we go. So you guys see it? It's an amazing view, such an amazing. Oh, can you guys on Instagram even see? It's such an amazing flame, and honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of this process. It's still blowing itself out. I have this pressure a little bit too high, but just look at the flame. You can't make it up because if the flame is dirty, it's just not gonna burn this blue. In fact, a blue flame actually indicates, from what people have told me, a lot of hydrogen present. And we all know hydrogen is a very energy dense molecule, and there's actually not all that much hydrogen in natural gas. So this might have more energy in it than natural gas does. By the way, did anybody come up with those numbers for me? How many kilowatt hours are we getting? Because I don't think 14 is right. 14 sounds too high to me. But look at the flame though. Beautiful flame. So guys, what do I do with this natural gas, right? Well, I take this natural gas and I put it in this burner, and I end up using this burner to heat my distiller to refine the oils. So refining the oils is no additional energy cost. Some people are like, oh my goodness, guys. Okay, he's turning plastic into fuel, but he gets these oils out that are so dirty and so cancerous, and it takes so much energy to clean them up that it's not worth it. Well, the energy it takes to clean them up is a byproduct of doing this. So, joke's on you, right? You said it seems moist. It could be, but I think it's actually a matter of, because sometimes this happens. The stoichiometric ratio of this natural gas is really tough to master. Sometimes I can get the flame perfect, but of course it's gonna burn way better without moisture at all. So I actually have a dryer. Where do I have a dryer? I don't have a dryer I can use now, because I could put an inline dryer into this, and of course the flame would be better. In fact, let me see if I could just put one together really quick and see if the flame gets better. All right, so I put it in my inline dryer, and let's see if it burns any better. I mean, it burns fine. I guess, yeah, it's burning pretty much the exact same. I mean, the flame is still, the same beautiful blue flame that we've seen before. It's hot. So, I mean, yeah, there you have it. The natural gas made from plastic. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite products. It is my favorite product from this process. Riku Rose, thank you for the $5 super chat on YouTube. Much love to you. You said better. That's great. And the reason I love this so much, guys, is this is so easy to clean up. Because, like, for example, in me even routing it over here, I can literally put an inline activated carbon filter, a water filter, because it's coming out under pressure. So I could just put a million filters. So, like, if this thing had, like, benzene in it, just put so many things to just absorb it. So many adsorbents, thing after thing. Bentonite, activated carbon, activated alumina, silica, all just this thing after thing, get all the moisture out, get all the stuff out. Desiccators, hydrophobic filters, thing after thing to clean it up, and you don't even have to like refine it or anything, because you just, put it, all these things in the way pressure is. Of course, the only issue, guys, you guys saw me having kind of the issues, and it's probably the moisture because of this that's doing this. But sometimes I hook this up to my generator and it doesn't run right. It might not even start at all, and I think it's the moisture messing it up. So like I said, guys, that's why we got to get this condenser 100% on point, because it's messing up a lot of my experiments with the natural gas, with it being so wet. Such a wet flame, guys. You said $20. You said hit a goofy ass dance. Independent mass hold. Okay. All right, I'll hit a dance for you for $20, I suppose. This is what I've resorted to, from a scientist to a dancing prostitute. This is what I've come to. Dancing for money. Oh shit. Oh. That wasn't good. I almost dropped my phone stand directly on the fire. We'll turn this fire off, because I really just wanted to show you guys, that it burns clean, that, I am making natural gas. But I need to use this natural gas. Obviously, I need to use it for my distiller, so I'm not going to just keep burning it. But like I said, guys, you really cannot make it up, because the truth is, if it does, if it's not clean, it's not going to burn good like that. If there's a whole bunch of crap in there, it's not going to burn with a clean blue smokeless flame. I'm a welder, so we used to have the oxyacetylene torches. And, that's like, it's a really cool flame. When you get a really blue flame like that, it's really well burning, You can't fake a really good, beautiful flame like that. I don't know if that's quite a neutral flame, but it's pretty close. It's a nice flame, So what dance am I gonna do here? Just a little salsa for you. Maybe I should. I don't know if I can connect any music, unfortunately, because I'm using the phone. I'm using the phone for the live stream. But yeah, did we get those numbers though on how much natural gas we made? How many kilowatt hours? Did we get them numbers? Did we get them? Because I want to know. Did we get those calculations? Well, let me turn this off too. We don't need both the footlights on. Just maybe we do. Okay. Wait, can you guys see me? I'm too black. Can you see my teeth? Come on, at least my teeth. Damn, he black as fuck. Oh my goodness. All right, did we get those numbers though? Seriously, I want to know. Isn't this just a distillery for really long carbon chains? It is. So it's destructive distillation. This is not distillation because we're trying to like preserve whatever we're distilling. We're trying to destroy it, and that's why. That's why we use the microwaves, because the microwaves are not easy to control the temperature, and they're not easy to They're not easy to do anything except for absolutely destroy the plastic. You said $20. You said, yo, it's dark. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Independent mass hole. What temperature and vacuum level are you at right now? The machine is not running anymore. It hasn't been running for about, I would say like 30 minutes. We've just been testing the stuff, but usually I'm pulling a consistent, I would say, what, -4 to 5 psi vacuum, and that translates to about 12 to 13 inches of mercury consistent on the machine. And then the temperatures I'm looking at, the back of the machine is always hotter than the front. The back of the machine, the hottest I ever got it was 300 C body temperature. But microwaves heat from the inside out. So if the body's 200 degrees centigrade, that means that the actual surface level of the plastic could be in the thousands of Fahrenheit. And potentially like several hundred C, like 700 C, very, very hot. And because with microwaves heating from the inside out, that means that whatever the body is absorbing the heat from the plastic, which is way hotter, right? So it's kind of like if I give you a hot pocket, right? You know, you put anything in your microwave oven, you leave it in there for long enough, the doors and stuff of the microwave will be warm. But you know it's way hotter than the microwave oven itself, the thing that it's cooking. The hot pocket, the potato, the bag of popcorn, whatever. And that's exactly how this works. In fact, guys, that reminds me, I'm so interested. Aren't you guys interested too? What would happen if I put bags of microwave popcorn in here? I want to know what would happen. I mean, it's a microwave, so I mean, we know what will happen. It probably won't even be cool. It probably just be normal, but I want to do that one day. You know, and probably not eat the bag of popcorn after. Maybe just put the bag of popcorn in there, let it pop, take it out, put it back in the machine, and then turn it into fuel. Because guess what, guys? We can turn food into fuel, too. I've done it before years ago. I've done a lot of... Look, guys. I've done a lot of really cool stuff that I haven't done in years. I already ran weed whackers years ago. I turned food into fuel, tires into fuel, grass into fuel, wood waste into fuel. I already did this stuff on my YouTube channel years ago. We're going to redo all this stuff within, this new audience and stuff. We've got new people. But this machine is capable of a lot of really fun and really cool stuff that we're going to be definitely doing. So, yeah, nobody gave me those numbers, guys. Or maybe you guys did, and I just keep missing it in the chat. You know, if you're posting those numbers of how many kilowatt hours we got in the chat, and I'm missing it over and over again, I'm sorry. But I just want to know if anybody did those calculations. Because, like I said, we did this run. Now, if I had to guess, I say just a rough guess, and I'm probably going to be right. We're at like 8 kilowatt hours of natural gas. We put in 18. We got 8 kilowatt hours of natural gas. We still have oil to get out. That's just my guess. You said 12? You said 12 kilowatt hours or 13? So that guy was right all along. The guy who said 13. Guys, listen. If we just put in 18 kilowatt hours and we're getting out 13, even if we're getting out 8 from the natural gas alone, that's pretty good. Because, I mean, now here's the thing about energy. You burn it in an engine, the best an engine can do is about 50% efficiency. So you need to make double that if you want it to be like, we need to make so much energy that we can run the generator off the machine. We have to make double. But that's possible in my mind if the machine is running continuously. How? How is that not breaking the law of thermodynamics? Isn't that creating energy? No, it's not creating energy because we're not creating the energy. We're adding energy into the machine via plastic. Plastic has so much energy in it that if it could be continuously loaded into the machine at a point, you see, just an example. An oil pump, those big oil pumpers, the ones that go up and down. They take energy. Every single stroke takes energy. But the crude oil that they pump from the ground has so much energy in it that every stroke might take a kilowatt hour, but every stroke is pulling out 40 kilowatt hours. That's the same idea with this machine. Plastic is going in continuously, and every second, or whatever, let's just say every 10 grams of plastic that goes in, it depends on, certain conditions of the machine, but maybe every 10 pounds of plastic that goes in requires like 5 kilowatt hours. I'm just saying stupid stuff here, but then think about it. If you could get so much plastic in, you can kind of overcome that barrier, right? And it's not necessarily perpetual motion because, like I said, you have to make so much energy to get the machine running off of its own products that may not even be possible in such a straightforward and easy sense of the word, but it is absolutely possible to have an energy profit. And there's companies that do this process, not with microwaves, but regular pyrolysis, and they already do an energy profit, right? They already have that. So I know it's possible. In fact, with my Mark IV machine, I didn't do a continuous run, but I did a really big run with motor oil too. And the thing about motor oil, when you mix motor oil with plastic, it makes the oil yield go up so much, like a crazy amount. The only issue with motor oil is just another variable. It has sulfur in it and things from engines. Every engine's different. Every car is different. There's all the different types. It's a mess to, from a scientific perspective, to use motor oil. So it's kind of a cheat. But if you put motor oil in here, it's pretty easy to make a gallon of oil with one run. Pretty easy. So I did a run like that, and then I got out so much oil, so much natural gas, and then so much carbon that I was like, I put in 25 kilowatt hours just like I normally do with this machine, and then I ended up getting well over 40 kilowatt hours out, right? Just putting together all the stuff, the sum of everything together. But that's rough because it's like, okay, yeah, you can burn carbon, you can burn natural gas, you can burn diesel, but there's no engine that can burn all three of them at once, right? So like, it's just numbers. Rough being put together, but the point is, right, if this machine can operate off of solar panels, then whatever that number is great. Because if we're running this off of solar panels or anything renewable that's free, then think about it. I'm putting in zero energy, and every single kilowatt hour I get out is 100% profit, even if I only got out one, which we know this machine actually puts out a decent amount. So that's the idea, guys. That's why next year we're going to be running this machine 100% on solar, because it doesn't consume that much electricity. Like I said, it consumes about as much electricity as a big air conditioner if you ran it all day. And solar can already run a whole house all day if you have enough. So we don't have to create some type of crazy industrial solar system. No, just use already existing solar panels, the already existing cords and stuff, and we will have this machine running completely off of solar. Like I said, 2025. Early 2025, okay? We're gonna get some stuff going, some big stuff. So you said even if it wasn't 100% efficient, still a lot better to have kegs of oil and natural gas than truckloads of waste plastic to get to a landfill. Yeah, exactly. Or the ocean, which is even worse than the landfill, because the ocean is like the Wild West. Once it's out there, you don't know what's gonna happen to it. And that's the idea, because I can, the volume reduction is crazy. I can get 50-gallon barrels full of plastic, shred them up, put them in this machine, and they will all turn into a few gallons of oil. And that oil can be dealt with later. It doesn't have to be dealt with now. But all this huge volume of plastic normally it takes up too much space. It has to go to landfill. It has to be burned. It's just too much space. Especially islands, they're running out of space with plastic. Half the landfill nowadays is plastic waste, and we can reduce its volume into literally a liquid. Liquids are such a really good form of storing something, but also it turns into the natural gas and then the carbon as well. But nonetheless, the volume is reduced so much. That's a great thing, because it's not as much of a nuisance, let alone the actual uses of these, these products in which the volume is being reduced from. You said oil is the blood of the earth. And yeah, and then, talk about nature and the blood of the earth. This is nature. In nature, there is no waste. There is no trash. There are no landfills in nature. Everything is used. Everything is a closed cycle. I studied nature for years and years. This is biomimicry, guys. This is biomimicry with a touch of humanity and electronics. But even in nature is electronic. So this is just biomimicry. How do you think crude oil formed to begin with? The same process. Maybe not with microwaves, but with the pressure and heat of Earth herself. So, just saying. Same process, guys. You said there's tons of companies creating pyrolysis-based power plants, packing them next to landfills and making energy and recycling plastic. Exactly. That's just perfect. Set a machine up at a landfill, and then that's why this has to be continuous. It has to be a continuous machine. Because imagine you literally just drop the plastic into a bin. Boom. It gets shredded, gets conveyed up to the machine, gets loaded in the machine. The machine's just constantly running. You could easily do hundreds of pounds of plastic a day. And then it's running off of solar. So now it's making all this, and guess what? Guess what? Oh, there's a rainy day. Well, guess what? You have the best battery on Earth when it's a rainy day. You know what the best battery is? Liquid fuels and gaseous fuels. Lithium-ion batteries have nothing on diesel fuel, gasoline, natural gas. The amount of energy per pound of those things, it beats lithium-ion batteries every time. So you could easily run the machine off of any of these products when you don't have solar. So we're taking sunlight and turning sunlight into hydrocarbon oils. That's pretty crazy to me. That's pretty amazing to think about, right? Literally creating combustible fuels out of sunlight. You know, so that's the idea of doing this off of solar. And then when this is off of solar too, now we could put these things on ships. Put these things on ships, have it running as the, it's collecting up the plastic. The oil goes to run the ship. Look, ships literally run on some of the heaviest oils there are as is. So the crude oil from this machine can go right into the engine of the ship. It doesn't even have to be refined again. The natural gas, I'm sure it could go right to the oil of the ship, or it could be used for something else. But the point is, this machine is not consuming that much electricity. It could pretty easily be run off the solar panels. Anybody that's installed solar or knows about solar knows when I tell you this thing consumes 42 amps, just under 10,000 watts. You're like, that's nothing. That's like a 10, I don't know. It depends on if you're trying to run it continuously or just charge batteries. But that's like maybe like a $20,000 solar system at most, right? 20, 30,000 at most. For because I want to be able to run it continuously. But, I know that depends on where you live, how many sunlight hours you get, how much direct sunlight, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But, if the average run consumes 25 kilowatt hours, and if we could get a 50 kilowatt hour battery pack charged in a day, then we could run the machine twice off of 1 day of sunlight. That's just an example. So, you say the sand battery. I mean, sand batteries are good, but the issue with sand batteries is, there's so many conversions of the energy, right? Because you're first heating up the sands, and then you have to take the sands, and then they use the sand. Do they make molten sand, or do they use the sand to melt something? And then whatever the sand melts has to then go to heat up water, to then heat up a turbine. That turbine spins to then create electricity. There's so many conversions with the sand battery because sand itself doesn't burn, just straight up, right? So it's like a whole other conversion. You lose a lot of energy compared to like just burning coal, just burning gas, just burning diesel. It's just like burn it, heat water, spin a turbine versus sand, heat it up, then convert it into somehow heat up water and then blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, simple is best with the energy stuff for sure. Because every time you add another layer of energy, you lose energy. It's just, that is the law of thermodynamics. Straight up. It's impossible to have 100% no energy losses, right? You said, no, we will heat it with a solar parabolic heater. Listen, guys, I already did a breakdown on YouTube about why solar parabolic mirrors will not work for this process. And the number one reason is, look at the machine. You think solar energy can get into this machine? I don't think so. It's not glass. And how can you build this out of glass? You see all the components that are on this thing. You couldn't build this out of glass. Unfortunately, that just ain't gonna happen. And then the solar parabolic mirrors are like a laser. It's like a laser pinpoint. You know how much plastic we put in this thing? And a little pinpoint isn't gonna do anything. I don't care if you have 1,000,000 mirrors. It's just... And then it's based on if the sun is out where the sun is. The good thing about solar is that even when solar isn't working, your battery still got charged from when the sun was out. The thing about the parabolic mirrors that sucks is that it's literally 100% based on the sun. And then on top of that, think about it. This thing couldn't be under a carport like this if we had those mirrors. Maybe it could if the mirror's like built into it or something, but then the issue becomes you have to change the angle of the mirror as the sun is going down and stuff. Maybe you could have that computerized or motorized, but then it's just like, it's so much. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying I'm not doing it. I've thought about it, guys. Look, before I came to the conclusion of using microwaves, I thought about everything else, including induction as well. And, I went into the kitchen. And the only thing more efficient than a microwave for cooking things is an air fryer. But the reason why an air fryer was a big no-no is because the first step of this process is to remove all the air, right? So, but to be honest, an air fryer
really isn't all that efficient anyway because it's heating up air, and heating up air is very inefficient because air is an insulator. Microwaves don't heat up anything except for what needs to be heated. So by nature, they're the most efficient, right? So, and that's what we're seeing here because I'm breaking down this plastic into usable products for not that much energy. It's not that much energy. I don't care what anybody comments, when anybody says 18 kilowatt hours is not that much energy. I put a few days worth of household plastic in this machine, a few days worth of a family's consumption of household plastic, and I consumed less than a day's worth of running your house. Right? I'm just saying, it's not that much energy at all. Easily run off of solar. Anybody could install it. You said, is this fuel produced at max efficiency? Cheaper to extract than regular oil? The only way how this could be cheaper to extract than regular crude oil is if you get paid to take the plastic in. If you are paid to take the plastic in, and then you can get paid to sell the oils and stuff that come out on the other end, and then you have it running off of solar, then yes, it will be cheaper than crude oil because plastic is free. You're getting paid to take it, and the machine is very efficient, right, relative to most pyrolysis machines. So yes, in that case it would be, but that's purely theory I'm speaking here because obviously I'm not getting paid to take plastic, and my machine is not operating continuously, and it's not running off of solar. So I'm just purely speaking with theory on that, but it makes pretty good sense, right, on how that would work. So anyways, guys, thank you all so much for your support, for your cash apps, for all the support, all the super chats on YouTube. We'll be live again tomorrow. I'm gonna try to go live every day I'm out here, okay? Every day, I try. I can never control everything. Sometimes things happen, troubleshooting, annoying things, but I try to go live every day. I appreciate your support, guys. I appreciate the love. And thank you for stopping by tonight. You guys have a great night.